Hi everyone, I'm the Limitless Librarian and this is my review of The Little Match Girl Strikes Back by Emma Carroll. Apologies for the lighting, it's night time as I'm recording this and I don't have the kitchen light to light me as usual. If you've seen my book haul from last week, you'll know about that. Anyway, this book is a retelling of the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, The Little Match Girl. And it draws upon real life history to give it a different ending and a bit more of an empowering message. So before we get into the review, I suppose I should tell you about the story that this is a retelling of. The Little Match Girl is a story that was originally written by Hans Christian Andersen, and it basically takes place at Christmas time in Victorian London, and there's a little girl who's out in the cold one night selling matches to make not very much money, just to keep her family afloat. And basically she's really struggling to sell the matches, and she knows she'll get beaten at home if she goes home without making any sale, but she just can't sell them. And so eventually she is just in this out in the cold alone, and she decides to light the matches to get warm, and she basically hallucinates all these wonderful things like nice food and a Christmas tree. And eventually she hallucinates seeing her grandmother, who was the only person who was ever nice to her, but who is dead. And so her grandmother basically takes her up to heaven, and then in the morning she's found dead out in the cold like that by some people who basically don't think much of her, just another unfortunate sort of situation, but nothing really out of the ordinary. So this is a middle grade story. It's not very long, and so we focus on a girl named Bridie who works for the Bryant and May match factory, which was a real match factory in Victorian London, and she's selling matches. Her mum works at the factory. They're obviously struggling, they're poor. Her mum's suffering all these sort of health complications from the phosphorus that is used in making the matches. Again, real things that the real match factory workers had to deal with. And like in the original story, Bridie has some difficulty selling her matches. She has a bunch of bad luck. She's eventually left in a situation where she has only 3 matches left and they're not really worth selling. And upon striking them, she has these sort of visions that are sort of magical, but also at the same time really happen. And so we see her get involved in a movement to improve conditions at the match factory for the workers. And this is based on the real life Bryant and May match girls strike, which led to better conditions, including being able to have a separate area for eating that would not be contaminated by the white phosphorus they were making the matches from, and eventually that type of phosphorus being outlawed entirely, and abolishing unfair fines for very minor sort of things like talking at work, or it just dropping a match could get you fined, so that would be taken out of your pay. So the strikes, which were also headed up by another real person who shows up in this book, Annie Besant. She was a real person, and she shows up in this book and encourages Bridie to take action. So apologies for spoiling the book, but it would not do this book justice to not discuss the sort of history that is involved. So I like this book because it gives that powerful message that you can make a difference through this sort of action, because again, this is real events. In the back of the book, it tells you about the real history that inspired this book. So it's a powerful little story, which is great for, you know, the sort of target audience. As I said, this is more of a kid's sort of book, and it's great to give kids these kind of powerful messages. So I would recommend reading this book, and also looking into the history of the Brian and May Match Girls strike and Annie Besant, who reading the Wikipedia articles. It was all very interesting, so I'll pop links to those in the description below. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's just a very shorter video for you today. If you'd like that and you'd like to see more book reviews, please like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, do lots of maths, read lots of books, and I'm sure you'll have an enlightening day.